your nutrition is the biggest hitter for your metabolism. And so we're going to talk a lot about that today, because food will become the information that tells your cells and mitochondria what to do. There's 3 reasons why your metabolism will go slow or become damaged. Number 1, either you're yo-yo dieting or have done lots of yo-yo dieting. Number 2, you're severely restricting your calories and not giving it what it needs. And number 3, like Michelle, I just said there. And number 3, your body is under too much stress that is forced to slow down. So all 3 factors can influence a slowed metabolism or damaged metabolism. When your body's under too much stress that's forced to slow down, one of the prime examples that comes to play for people who love to work out, like you and me, is people who eat less and try to exercise more. And I'm curious, who here has been guilty of that before? Raise your hand. I'm going to raise my hand. A lot of us, when we think we want to lose weight or we want to like become leaner, fitter, we're going to eat less and we're going to exercise more. Thank you, Michelle, for being honest. So if you eat less and exercise more, you know what you're telling your body. Yeah, see, Marlene, long time ago, and Cynthia, you do that. Exactly. So because that is causing increased stress response in your body, and you're forcing your body to slow down when you eat less and exercise more. Although in our minds, we have this concept that if we actually eat less and exercise more, calorically expenditure wise, we should lose weight, but you don't, right? Because you're causing increased stress response in your system. The thing is, it's a wrong equation. So what I'm saying is a wrong equation is when you're like trying to eat less, exercise more, it's a wrong equation. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit under these 3 circumstances. Your body goes under what's called metabolic adaptation. Okay, so your body's very smart. It wants to help you survive. It doesn't care about whether you look good in a bikini or not. It just wants you to survive. So your metabolism is not a mathematical equation. I did a live on this before, if you guys remember, on is it calories in versus calories out, and I had said it isn't just a mathematical equation, because if it was, wouldn't it make sense if you ate less calories that you would lose weight, or vice versa? But it doesn't, right? Like I eat a lot, Oshona eats a lot, a whole bunch of us who are super lean eat tons, right? So it's not a mathematical equation. Your metabolism functions more like a thermostat. So the thermostat means that it will adjust itself accordingly depending on what kind of environmental cues you give it. So that means it's not just this plus minus situation. It's a thermostat that we need to monitor many circumstances around it so that it adjusts properly and it doesn't like overheat or underheat like in the thermostat type of thing. Okay, it's a thermostat, so we got to give it the right cues. Otherwise, you're running into lots of problems. So I want to talk a little bit about 3 stages in which your metabolism can go into damage. Stalls, kind of along the continuum, okay? So the first stage is actually called metabolic compensation. So this happens to all of us. Anytime you are going to start to like work harder and change a lot of things, your body's needs will immediately change because it's a thermostat, right? It will immediately change, and it's going to start to adjust to try to figure out, okay, like how much calories are we needing? How much is she expending on the exercises that she's doing, etc., etc. Now, the typical situation is, and we're going to be hitting January in just a couple months here, is there's these people who say, I'm going to be so good. I'm going to eat less. I'm going to eat really good, cut back my calories. I'm going to go hard in the gym in January. And they're just going to go for it in that January time. Initially, when this happens, that massive change, your body will lose a few pounds, probably initially the first week or so. But then if you're actually like not giving it what it needs, you're not eating well, your body, about a week and a half in, and you've probably experienced this before, will start to be like really hungry. You're starting to get hungry. You're starting to want to eat more. You're starting to maybe even crave like, salty, fatty foods and all of this. And you start wanting more things, but you're like, but I'm supposed to eat clean. I'm supposed to stay on track. Who here has experienced that before? If you've experienced it before, it's like, yeah, I've done that where I try to go hard, try to be really good, but I can't stay on track. Who here has experienced that before? So if you've experienced that, because, everybody does, when you start to work harder, you're suddenly needing more fuel. It's your body's way of compensating, right? And this is normal. This is what your body is doing to help you. It's like, I need you to give me more food, okay? Now, at this point in the metabolic compensation, if you handle it well, obviously, and you know what to do, you can help it move forward really well, because it's just asking for many more food. Metabolic compensation is just your body saying, I need more food. I'm working out more. Give me more food. This, if you handle it well, like I said, is good. But what tends to happen is a lot of people are like, no, I can't eat, like, I can't go off track. I made a New Year's resolution to eat clean. I can't go off track. I can't eat all this stuff. I'm going to stay really clean and eat really little and just go work out. So what's going to end up happening is that they're going to stall their metabolism. They're going to lose some at the beginning, but they won't lose much more. And they're going to start to see nothing really changes. And when nothing really changes, a lot of times people will go, well, why is nothing changing? I just need to eat less. Maybe I need to eat less, and maybe I need to like go and work out harder. I'm not working out harder. Let's go longer on the cardio machine. Now, how many of you guys have done that? I need to go longer on the cardio machine. And so it's now your metabolic compensation over a few weeks to maybe a month will develop metabolic resistance. Your metabolic resistance will actually now, no matter what you do, it's like, no, you're not losing. We're not letting you lose. And this is because you're not giving it what it needs, right? It's like you're not giving it the right food. You're further increasing stress load. You're working out even harder, which in all, like, I get it. Like, I'm a pretty gritty person. Like, you got to work hard, but it's like now your body's even further in a lot of stress mode. And I'm sure those of you who've been there or are experiencing it, no matter what you do, nothing moves, and you start being like, I don't know what to do anymore. Nothing is moving. Initially, I had a couple pounds of weight loss, but nothing is moving. So that becomes metabolic compensation moves to metabolic resistance. And then if you keep going at that, where you're like, I need to just keep pushing forward, which I'm going to talk about later, that yes, you need to have a certain amount of time to make things happen, but in the right way, not in the wrong way. Because if you push forward in the wrong way, you're actually going to push yourself into the third phase, which is metabolic damage. Okay, so it goes metabolic compensation, metabolic resistance to metabolic damage. Okay, now, metabolic damage typically takes you're going at it for like a few months, or who knows, sometimes people are doing it for years. And this metabolic damage causes things like your digestive tract to slow down. You feel gassy or bloated all the time. Your muscles are fatigued. You don't sleep well. You don't feel rested. Your body just doesn't feel good. You might be anxious, tired, bloated, even though you're eating less. Who here has kind of experienced that, where they feel like they've tried so hard, but their body is just, you don't feel good on whatever diet you're doing, or muscles are fatigued, or you're bloated, or you're, even though you try to eat clean, you're still bloated and gassy, all of this type of stuff. Now, typically, that's you, Wanda? Okay, so Wanda, and you've been in the group for a long time, so you may have been going too long at something maybe too low, let's just say, and that's, and Lisa, you've been there, yes. But Lisa, we've really worked on it. I know you know the right formulas now, having done the Fierce Factor formula, you know what you need. And so, and Michelle, I see your hand as well. So if you start feeling, and this is after months of trying this and nothing is happening, you feel like digestive is slowed down, all of this, then you're in the metabolic damage, which is starvation mode, right? Under that kind of situation on this metabolic damage or starvation, it doesn't mean you can't fix it, but it means you actually need to, not only do you need to make sure you have good food back in the system, but oftentimes if you're in metabolic starvation mode, you actually need to rest and recover more, because it's not to go harder. You need to have more times to actually slow things down and recover, do easier exercises. Now, is everybody in metabolic starvation damage mode? No, some may be in metabolic compensation, some may be in metabolic resistance phase, but metabolic damage requires a lot more time to shift things. If you're in a damage phase, it can take up as much of 3 months to 15 weeks. 3 to 4 months or so to be able to get it to really listen to you. If you're on metabolic compensation or metabolic resistance, it will listen to you a bit faster. It will move a bit quicker. And this is kind of why I say to a lot of people, yes, you do need time, but make sure you're not going time on the wrong path for too long and then damaging your system, right? That the biggest thing is, like I said, if you're stalled out, it means something is missing, which we're going to talk about right away. I just want to talk about the different metabolic kind of damages and levels of damages, okay? So like I said, metabolic damage, you still can bring it back. You just may need to know how to, and your exercises, what kinds, and not overtraining, making sure you have refuel with the right foods and all of that type of thing. So how many of you listening, 29 eyeballs, do you feel like for yourself you're in metabolic compensation, metabolic resistance, or metabolic damage? Which one do you feel like you're in right now? Or maybe you're not, but if you are one of them, put it down below. Which one do you feel you are right now?